viral RNA into complementary DNA. Okay, let's talk about the genital herpes. Genital herpes, we have two types of herpes simplex virus. One is called type 1, type 2, okay? You probably know this from your high school sex ed. So herpes simplex, type 1 herpes simplex causes the cold sore and blisters. We get it from the chicken pox or the something like that. And then type 2 genital herpes. Type 2 is the one that causes genital herpes, STD. If you have genital herpes, you will be tingling, itching, okay? And then later on you get blister 2 to 20 days later. And then later on you have fever, painful urination, swollen of lymph nodes. Usually, as long as you have painful urination, usually it is a symptom of STD. A lot of STD, they have this painful urination symptom. After this, the virus lie dormant. Dormant means that it goes to hibernate or sleep. Hibernating or sleeping, okay. They will stay in your nervous system, or some of them. So when you are stressful or when you get old, when your immune system is low, then when your immune system is weak, then they will come out as we call it shingles. Yeah, shingle. Shingle is also caused by the herpes virus. HPV, human papilloma virus, causes genital warts. Can be infected. Newborn can be infected. Some HPV can cause cervical cancer. So, okay, teenager. Okay, it is like a public health issue nowadays. A lot of teenagers, they start to have sex very early, and teenagers, they are not fully mature. That's why they are very susceptible to HPV. There's no cure. Once you have it, it stays in you forever. This is just a treatment basically to remove the genital wart by freezing, burning, acid or laser. We now have vaccine, okay, vaccination. If you are infected, it has no protective effect. That's why a lot of high school girls, they are encouraged to have this vaccination. Pap smear basically is to test if you have a cervical cell become cancerous. So what people did was that the woman, they will go to the doctor's office to sit in a special chair. The special chair spread your leg, and then the doctor will insert a rounded metal device. It's called operculum or something like that. I forgot the name. This device, when you close the device handle, it actually open up the dilate the vagina, so the doctor can actually stick a Q-tip into your uterus. Or touch the cervix. Actually, cervix. Yeah, you can touch your cervix, and then get the cervical cell sample for to send to the lab to see if the cells are cancerous. Hepatitis B, highly contagious. The truth, you may have heard about it, HIV actually is not as contagious as hepatitis B or flu virus. Because HIV, when when they're exposed to oxygen, they will die. Yeah, but Hep B virus and flu virus, they can stay living under oxygen for a long time. So infected people, they have fever, headache, nausea, joint pain, jaundice. Jaundice, that's when it is active. Lots of liver failure, and a lot of hepatitis B, they are carrier, meaning that the Hep virus is sleeping inside the body. And there's a vaccination for Hep B, so newborn baby, they usually get the Hep B vaccine as well. Okay, STD. The first thing we'll talk about is chlamydia. It's because we have more neochlamydia infection detected than other STD, and chlamydia is caused by bacterium Chlamydia trachomatis. It is 5 times more prevalent in women than in men. It doesn't mean that men don't get it as often as women. It's probably because men tends not to seek medical attention due to maybe embarrassment or something like that. So again, as I mentioned, painful urination. As long as you have painful urination, it is usually very often it is an indication of STD. Burning sensation, mucus discharge. All this is an indication of having chlamydia. For men, the bacterium can swim or can spread to prostate and epididymis. Remember at the beginning of the semester we talked about cell structure and function, and in prokaryotic cell like bacteria, they have flagellum for them to move around. So the Chlamydia trachomatis bacterium, they can move by moving the flagellum to infect a prostate and epididymis. For women, they can cause pelvic inflammatory diseases, and then it can spread to baby. So the baby may develop pneumonia and ocular infection. Of course, when you treat bacterial infection, we use antibiotics. Okay, second one, gonorrhea. Well, it's caused by bacterium Neisseria gonorrhoeae. So again, for men, you experience painful urination again, okay? And you have colorful discharge, well, green and yellow. For female, gonorrhea is hard to detect. Usually they start with no symptom until the bacterium Neisseria gonorrhoeae move to infect your until you have pelvic inflammation. The bacteria can spread through oral sex as long as the body part is direct in contact with the sexual organs. Again, the treatment is also antibiotics. Alright, the third one, syphilis. Syphilis is caused by the bacterium Treponema pallidum. It has 3 stages. The first stage is the appearance of something called a chancre. Chancre is a sore, hard sore at the point of infection. So the bacteria will first infect. You can see the 3 stages from outside to inside. So the initial stage is at the point of infection, where the infection occurs and it develops a chancre, a sore patches. Second stage, it goes deeper now. Non-itchy rash. Now it goes to skin, and then hair loss, and on mucous membrane, gray patches on mucous membrane. So now you can see that it goes deeper. The last stage, tertiary stage, is the worst. Well, it weakens the arterial wall, causing aneurysm. Okay, aneurysm. When your arterial wall is weakened, aneurysm, meaning that your arterial wall will bulge to form a sac, because the blood pressure will push the arterial wall so that it forms a pouch. In a severe case, the pouch can rupture then basically it is very dangerous, because it's like you have an internal bleeding. Aneurysm, if you detect earlier, then doctor can treat it, can remove the aneurysm and sew up the blood vessels. But if it is detected too late, then when the aneurysm rupture, then it will cause internal bleeding. It happens a lot to elderlies. And then psychological disturbance, because the bacterium, when it infects your nerve ending, it basically travels inside your nerve. It jumps from one nerve to another nerve. So that's why at the end, if it goes really serious and the person doesn't go to see a doctor, then it can cause they call psychological disturbance. Actually, literally you can go crazy, because when the bacteria goes to the brain, then it will mess up your brain. And large ulcer on skin, so the infection on the skin will continue to increase. So the psychological disturbances is the one that that is the most serious. Congenital syphilis. So yes, it can cross placenta and causes the fetus to have a blindness or malformation. So this STD affects the offspring, your baby, a lot. Again, the treatment is to use antibiotics, specifically is penicillin. But unfortunately, penicillin nowadays, a lot of bacteria, they have resistance to it. So yeah, when you have syphilis, doctor probably will give you a different generation, a more advanced generation of the antibiotics. Well, let's take a look at syphilis. Okay, it is nasty. As you can see that, okay, it is very obvious to see this kind of patches. This one, the one up here, this one, this looks like a reproductive organ. This may be this looks like a chancre, and this is the patches in the tertiary stage. So other than STD, what can men have? So men can have infertility, well, low sperm count or low motility. Well, as you know that smoking is the major cause for infertility. Less than 20 million sperm per meal. Impotence, okay, inability to attain or maintain erection. It can be due to stress or depression. Nowadays, it is very easy, as you know that well, men just take a Viagra, then you will get up. Okay, prostate cancer is slow growing over 50. So usually prostate cancer develop either silently or it is preceded by something called prostate enlargement. This is the general name. The medical name should be benign prostatic hyperplasia. We'll talk about this later. Benign prostatic hyperplasia, aka prostate enlargement, if a man do not treat it, or if the man do not go to do surgical removal, it can develop into a prostate cancer. Testicular cancer, okay, 15 to 34, it usually occurs at a younger age, and it is curable, which is a good news, if we detect early. And then of course STD, we have bacterial STD and viral STD. Bacterial, we already talked about syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea. And the virus, we have genital herpes and HIV. So men, they other than the STD we talked about previously, we can have 4 other issues, at least 4 other issues.